Okay, in this video we're going to learn about principles of design, and it's using an acronym called CRAP. Um, that pronounces crap. I know that maybe a little gross or crude, but maybe an easy way to remember it. And we'll use this throughout the entire course, and you'll quite often see it in other courses in multimedia and graphic design at the community college. So this is a little exercise. I think in all it'll take you about an hour or two, and even if you're brand new you can follow along, and this will be a good practice on how to use the internet learning lectures that we've provided for this course. And we're going to start with a editing software called Adobe Illustrator. It's actually vector format, and you'll learn about a little more about Illustrator later, but this will get you started. So I've opened up the program Adobe Illustrator. It should be in your applications. So if you go to your Launchpad, you should be able to see or find Adobe Illustrator as one of the programs that you can start. And when you do get there, this will probably be your first screen that you get to. Um, you might get a pop-up window saying, do you want tutorials or more info? You can pass that for now. You can go back to that later. But what we're going to do is we're going to, in Adobe Illustrator, you'll have to click on New. And this is the new document window to get things started. We're going to start off by setting our details over here. Make sure we're in a what we call portrait layout. So it should be 8.5 inches wide, 11.5 inches tall. We want one artboard. We'll do 0 on all the bleeds. Color mode can be RGB for now. And you'll learn a little bit more about what these things all mean later when you take have other assignments in Illustrator. But this is just to help you learn what the CRAP principles of design are. And we're actually going to reverse that and call them PARC, P-A-R-C, because that's usually the order I like to work in. And I'll explain that here in a second. Okay, the first thing, so here's our blank sheet of paper. We're going to design it. And the first thing I want you to do is select this type tool. So you should have tools on the side that look like this. And we'll click on the T for type tool. And we'll just draw a little box, maybe so big. Actually, tell you what, we won't draw the box. Let's delete that. But that is one of the options that you can do, is draw a box and then type things inside the box. Let's change that, and let's just click on the type tool and then single click somewhere on the box or on the paper. So you get these starter words, and one of the first parts of the principles of design is proximity. So type in proximity. Next, up in your tools, select this black arrow, and this will highlight the box, and while holding the option key, it might be a slightly different key for if you're on a PC, but on the Mac it's an option key. You can click that, hold it, and drag a new text from it, a copy. If you didn't want to do that, you could also click on this, select edit, copy, click away from it, and then just click paste. And there's also short keys for your computer. That'll also make a copy. When we've got a copy of it, let's double click on it, and then that should bring everything up, and it should be now editable. We'll now check place 2, And we have alignment, which is our second principle. We'll move alignment somewhere else on the page. Next, I'll hit paste again, and I'm going to edit that as well. And you can always stop this video, rewind it, make sure that you get things working. This exercise is really just for your benefit. You can just watch and follow along if you'd like to. You don't have to do this, and there will be a finished version that you can download and print so that you can learn the principles of design that way too. The third principle is repetition, and then our fourth one is contrast. In a bit, we're going to explain what these four things do in design. But right now, what we have are proximity, alignment, repetition, and contrast as our four principles. And this will, in essence, create what we call PARC. And then I'll create another one and move it and name this Principles of Design. So that's the start. We have a lot more to do with this to make it more interesting, but what you can see here right now is we've got a general list of what these are. So we're going to go into each one of these and list behavior qualities beneath each one of them as to what each of these principles do when we apply them. And why do we do principles of design? Well, why do we even do design? Certainly, we could just write plain black text on a plain white sheet of paper and turn it in, right? But with design, we can make things more interesting, we can make them easier to read, we can make them a little bit easier to digest if there's a lot of information. So there's a lot that we do as designers to arrange content, whether it be text or images or colors or backgrounds, all combined to make a nice design that can be attention getting, it can keep people engaged and interested in the information, and that's why they hire us as designers. Alright, so we're going to get into these in the next video. We're going to start talking about proximity first.